guys for joining me in my usual shopping spree. I really appreciate it. No problem, Susie. You know how much we enjoy going shopping with you, right, Coinsworth?
Yes, Miss Penny.
There's only one more piece in this set for me to buy. Then I'll have them all.
Why don't you buy it?
I won't get my allowance for another week.
Did you save any money from your last allowance?
Nah, it wasn't enough to buy the action figure I wanted, so I bought something else instead.
It's hard to buy something when you don't save up for it.
I suppose, but it's hard.
Maybe Susie will let you borrow her credit card. Then you can buy it and have your allowance.
Hey, do you think she'll let me do that?
Both of you, that's a terrible idea. Using credit is a bad thing.
If it's so bad, then why don't you say something to Susie about her using credit?
She can afford it. You can't. It's that simple.
I'm going to ask her anyway. It wouldn't hurt.
I still think it's a foolish idea.
Say, Susie, I was wondering, do you mind if I could borrow your credit card just this once to get this action figure that I've been eyeing for?
Why, sure, Barry. I could help you with that.
Would you really? That would be so awesome!
I said I could help. Didn't say I would, though.
But I really need this one. It's the only piece missing from my set.
The problem is not me. It's Penny and Sense. They will really be angry with me.
Why? What do they have to do with this?
We had a talk last week about using credit. I think maybe we should talk to them first.
Well, okay, but I really want that action figure.
So, Barry, Susie tells me that you want to borrow money in order to buy something from the toy store.
They have an action figure there that I need to have in order to complete my set. I'll finally have the entire collection.
But borrowing money, that's the same as using credit.
Well, excuse me. Is it so wrong that I want to borrow a little bit so that I can have something that I need?
That's the whole point, Barry. You're wanting to borrow money for something that you say you need, but in reality, you don't.
But I do need it.
No, Barry. You want it, but you don't need it. There's a difference.
How so?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Say what?
According to Maslow, a need is something that a person must have in order to survive. You need food, you need shelter, you need security. Anything else is a want.
If you have food, then you have met a need. If you start looking for something better, that's a want.
What does this have to do with buying an action figure?
Here you are. Anything else I can get for you?
No, that's enough, Coinsworth. You should never borrow money to take care of a want. It's bad enough to use it for a need, but for something that you just want, it's foolish.
But Susie buys stuff on credits all the time.
She thinks she is using credit.
What does that mean?
Credit is when you borrow money in order to buy something. But Susie really isn't borrowing any money. It's money that she already has.
She uses the credit card instead of carrying cash.
She just happens to have enough money to not worry about whether something is a need or a want. She just buys it.
So it's wrong to borrow money to buy something that you want?
It isn't that it's wrong, it just isn't smart.
Credit cards are a convenience, just like Coinsworth said. Susie can use her card instead of having to carry cash with her.
If you borrow money, but then can't pay it back, well, that's just not a good thing.
I would pay her back.
I know you wouldn't mean to pay me back, but what happens if you see something else that you want? Or what if you have to spend your money on something you actually need? Then you can't pay Susie back.
You will know every time that you see her that you owe her.
And then you'll start to avoid her. Every time you see her coming, you'll go the other way.
Because you know if she sees you, she'll ask about when you're going to pay her back.
Barry! Barry! Where's my money? Barry! I'm going to get you! She will follow you everywhere you go.
I don't think I like that. It would be hard to explain why she's always lurking around the skate park.
There's nothing wrong with friends helping friends. But borrowing money just complicates a friendship.
It's always smarter to save your money until you have enough money to buy what you want. You'll feel better about it. And you won't have me following after you everywhere you go. I'm gonna get you, Barry! credit cards allow us to buy things without having to pay first. They're convenient to use, but there are charges. When you use credit cards, you will receive a bill at the end of the month. When you get your bill, you have two choices: to pay it off completely or make the monthly payments. If you make the monthly minimum payments, there will be charges. Having a credit card can bring you a lot of problems. You're not only paying for the stuff you bought, but also the interest. You'll be paying so much more. Remember, use it only when necessary, and when you do use it, pay it off on time. A good substitute will be a debit card.